Hey guys, it's Mackenzie, your mommy's media medium, coming back at ya. Still sick as a dog. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's day 10 of sickness and I'm still sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am definitely still under the weather, and I think my body's dying slowly. And this will probably be one of our last podcasts for ever because I'm dying. But no, seriously, yeah, I'm still sick. I've been sick for the last 10 days, and I thought I was over it by Monday. I set out and said, you know what? I need to take down my Christmas stuff because it's about to be February. I needed to clean things in my house, and I did. I accomplished taking down all the Christmas stuff. We did a light clean of the house, swept, mopped the kitchen. There's still other stuff that I need to get done, but no, I still did a lot more than I thought I was actually going to accomplish on Monday, which to me meant that I was feeling better, right? But come Monday night, my son is sleeping in the bed with me and my husband because that's his new thing, I guess. And he keeps waking up all night because his throat is sore. And he's been sick longer than I have. He was sick the week before I was sick. He got a little bit better, but I guess it's the same thing that I'm going through. It's just lingering on. And he woke up that night with a sore throat, and he just kept coughing, and he was sad and crying because his throat hurt. And I had to admit, man, my throat still hurts too. And I got up the next morning and everything just felt like not as bad as the week before. That first week, I had body aches and chills and all of the above. And it was one of those things where towards the end of the week, once I actually took a chill pill and sat down and didn't do anything, that's why I did the Megan's Movie podcast crossover. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. But I decided on Thursday that I just needed to chill because it felt like I had the flu. Light. It's the best way I can describe it. I've had the flu 2 times before, and both times I felt like death. And as I'm sitting and thinking about it, I'm like, man, I probably did have the flu. I'm trying to dumb it down and be like, no, it wasn't the flu. I just think I am a different person than I was the 2 times that I had the flu. I had the flu once when I was maybe 18 or 19. And then the second time I was 30 or 31. Both times I didn't have children. So I could revel in my misery and be all dramatic about it and feel like death. When you're a mom, you don't really have the luxury of being able to revel in your sickness. You just don't, because everybody depends on you. You have your kid that depends on you. If you have a husband, a significant other, they depend on you because you're in mom mode all the time and you're always doing stuff. So they expect those things out of you at all times, even when you're sick. So I think in my brain, I just kept going because it was I'm a mom. I don't have the choice but to keep going. And especially, with Shipped, I have this new job. I want to make money before we go out of town to Texas for a month and I won't have any income. Although with Shipped, I can essentially still do my job in Texas if I wanted to. It's just finding the time where my son won't be up my butt and being okay being left with my family for me to actually do it, and then learning a different store's layout and stuff like that. That's why I'm halfway successful at what I do. I know the stores that I'm going to 90% of the time, so I can get in and get out. But anyway, so yeah, it's I had this hustle mentality of just keep going and going and going, that I think that's the reason why, even though I was hurting severely, I had so many muscle aches. I had the fever. I told you I had a fever of 100.8. And it wasn't until that point that I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I gotta pay attention to the fact that I'm sick. But even still, that next day, it was a Wednesday, I had to do stuff with my son. And, he was pretty chill, which was really nice. He didn't get too much on my nerves. He let me sit and, be sick. And a couple of times I took a nap and he'd tap me awake and say, you've been resting a lot today. But, that goes to show that I really don't get that downtime. He's never seen me actually take a nap in the middle of the day. But yeah, I have no idea where I was going with this other than the fact that, yeah, I think I did have the flu. And I think I still, while I don't have the flu now, I think I just have the residual after effects of the flu. And I just need to take a chill pill. on Tuesday. It was freezing cold, and my neighbor, I walk her son to school occasionally on Tuesdays because she has to take another one of her kids to a school all the way on the other side of town, and she has a new baby. So I try to help her out by taking her son to school on Tuesdays. And it was cold. It was like in the 20s, and I walked these kids to school in 20-degree weather. It's less than a mile, but still, it's like when you're trying to get over a sickness, the last thing you want to do is submerge yourself in really cold weather and be breathing in that cold air into your lungs, because that's one of the first signs that I knew that I was sick. My chest burned, and to cough or sneeze hurt so badly. So here I was walking these kids to school and not feeling all that great, sore throat and whatnot. And then I get home and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go get a coffee and just come home and rest. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually chill out because obviously I'm not over being sick. So I just need to chill. And I get to Starbucks, and of course, because curiosity is one of my main things that I need to change about myself in 2019, I log into the ship system and see that there's an order for right down the street at Safeway. And I'm like, okay, I have my coffee in hand. I can do this. Let's just do this. We'll just do this one order. And that one order turned into another order. And it turns into another order, and it turns into another order. So I ended up doing 5 orders when I was supposed to come home and sit my butt down and not do anything. Instead, I was out. Now, I wasn't on the schedule where they would be throwing orders at me left and right. I chose orders as I would see them come in. But at the same time, I still didn't sit my butt down the way that I needed to. And that's why I think freaking 2 days later, I'm still not feeling all that great. So today I looked in the system just because, I can't get over being a curious cat. And I saw that there was an order, but I was like, I'm not taking it. I came home, drank my coffee, I balanced a checkbook, I got some things done that I needed to get done. And of course, I see an order in there for a 4 to 5 delivery. So I signed myself up just for one day, because if I don't do something this weekend, because I was supposed to do spin today. I had myself on the schedule as of yesterday evening to go to spin, and I just felt like crap come 6 o'clock. And I'm like, I want to do a spin class so badly. I'm paying for it. But it's like, do I want to sacrifice being better over trying to prove to myself that I can do this even when I'm sick? It's best just to go ahead and heed my own advice, because my husband's good for going and working out when he doesn't feel well, and then his sickness prolongs for a month and a half. And I'm always like, well, if you let your body heal, then you'd be better. And now you're not letting your body heal, so of course you're not better. So I'm trying to heed my own advice and just take a chill pill. But like I said, I did sign up for one order for today, and that's the only thing that I'm going to do, just in case over the weekend I decide I'm not going to do any orders. I figure one order won't kill me, and I didn't do the spin class, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm still sick, but I'm doing a podcast, right? I feel a lot better than I did last Thursday. Last Thursday, I was like, I am not doing this podcast. I can't. And I hope that you enjoyed the White Chicks podcast, even though we literally talked about white chicks for maybe 1/15 of the show. Everything else was about pooping and lactose intolerance and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're going to get to today's show 10 minutes after the fact, because I like to ramble on and talk about my life. That's how I am. I have 2 topics for you, and this is basically, we're back to our regularly scheduled program. I actually have notes written out. I have my whole little spread sitting right in front of me where I can look at it. I'm probably still going to forget stuff. But yeah, we're going to do this, guys. We're going to do it. This is 2019. This is new and improved Mackenzie that's sick and doesn't feel well and sounds kind of like a man, but we're going to get through it, right? Right. So topic number 1, we are going to do everybody loves a good deal. You know me, guys. I love discounts. I love clearance racks. I love discounts and coupons. I love coupons upon a discount on top of a clearance on top of a sale. I live for this kind of stuff, and that's why I wanted to go over with you guys the new app that I downloaded just before the end of the year called Drop. Now, I saw Drop, of course, on Instagram many, many moons ago. I think they kind of sent me sponsored ads more times than I can actually remember. It was just one of those days where I was just sitting there scrolling through Instagram and it came up and I was like, okay, I'll bite. I keep seeing this stupid ad, and if I see it one more time, I don't know what I'm going to do other than click on it and try to download it. So I did, and I have been a member of the Dropped family since October of 2017. Now, basically, it's a shopping app that lets you earn cash while spending it. Do tell more. I will. Per the Wikipedia page for Drop, it says, Drop is a coalition customer loyalty program in which users earn points using their linked debit card or credit cards. Users choose 5 reward partners such as Starbucks, Sephora, Whole Foods Market, and Uber to earn points with Drop. It's a Toronto-based company which was founded by Derek Fung. I like that last name, Fung. Darren Fung, Cameron Dearsley, and Akhil Gupta in August of 2015. This program started in the Canada market during August of 2015 and expanded into the American market during October 2017. And of course, that's when I hopped on and started seeing all of the ads being bombarded to me on Instagram after a 6-month private beta. The Drop Reward program requires that users download a companion app on an iOS or Android device, so it's good on Apple and it's good on Android devices. And according to the Drop team, the service was designed as a way for brands to earn exposure with millennials. So what it is you download the app. Okay, and initially it'll say pick your 5 favorite stores. Now this is what got me initially into the whole Drop thing. Was the girl on the little ad that they had, she was spending money and going to Starbucks, and in turn turned her Starbucks spending money into a Starbucks gift card. And that's when I was like, okay, I gotta see what this is all about. Like, there's no way I'm spending money at Starbucks and getting money for Starbucks. It can't be real life. But guys, it's totally real life. So anyway, you choose your 5 favorite places that you go on a regular. For me, I chose Target. I chose Starbucks, Safeway, which is the main grocery store that we go to other than Target, and Bath and Body Works, and there's one more. I'm completely drawing a blank. Oh, McDonald's, because you can do food places too. And while we don't go to McDonald's very often, I was at a loss for a store that I go to any more than those stores that I just mentioned to you. I'm always at Target. I'm always at Starbucks. My husband is always at Safeway because he literally is right across the street from one. So the only other one that I can think of was McDonald's, because normally my son gets a hash brown and he loves milkshakes from McDonald's. So I figured, okay, fine, whatever. This obviously isn't going to go anywhere. This is a stupid app. It's not going to do anything. So we'll just kind of do whatever with this last one. And they tell you when you're choosing your 5, be very selective, because after that 5, you can't change it other than an offer that they might put in the app. And I'll talk about that later. So anyway, you choose your 5 favorite stores and you link a credit card, debit card to the account. And as you're spending money, you're earning points, and those points turn into money that you can cash out for gift cards to other places like Starbucks, Aerie, AMC, the movie theater, your Coffee Bean, Domino's, Sephora, iTunes, Dunkin' Donuts, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Best Buy, The Gap, IHOP, and so many more. There's so many different ones. Oh, and now I see they have Target. You can redeem for Target gift cards. And Krispy Kreme. Ooh, that's new. Ooh, I like my Krispy Kreme. But yeah, so they have all of these different places, Foot Locker, Adidas, Ulta, Groupon, that you can earn points to trade in for different gift cards. Now, of course, there is a point value system. Your Starbucks is on the lower tier at 5,000 points. You have 5,000 points, you can redeem for a $5 gift card for Starbucks. Awesome. If you have 10,000 points, you can redeem for $10 of Krispy Kreme, and so on and so forth. So I figure the bigger the pool, the bigger the company, the more points you have to earn to get to it. I'm not sure. I feel like Starbucks, you would think that Starbucks would be the higher tier, but I guess maybe it goes by the value system at which the company lets you do. Maybe Krispy Kreme starts their gift cards at $10. Maybe they don't have a $5 increment. So that kind of makes sense to me. But anyway, as you're spending money, you're earning points, and these points can be converted into a gift card. So like I said, I signed up in October and kept saying, okay, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to look at it. And never did. It was sitting on my phone and I kept saying, ugh, there's that stupid app. I need to look to see if it's even worth the time. And I didn't until maybe a couple of days before Christmas. It was the Friday, or I think it was the Friday before Christmas or the Friday before that. I think we were still doing Little Gym the Friday before Christmas. And I was sitting there and I didn't have anything to do. So I was like, you know what? I need to look at this stupid app so I can go ahead and delete it, because obviously I'm not getting anything. I haven't looked at it. It's not a big deal. Let's just check this out, see if you've earned any points, and delete this ish, because obviously it's, it's dumb. Nobody's earning money for spending money. And I log in, guys, and I have 15,000 points, and I'm like, what? 15,000 points? What in the what is going on? So when you're in the app, you can look and see your transaction history, and sure enough, Target was showing up, Safeway was showing up. I figured because of the fact that I linked my debit card that the Safeway wouldn't be a thing. But because it's linking not only my debit card, but the whole bank account as a whole into their system, when my husband is spending money, because he share the same bank account, I'm earning points for every time he was going to Safeway. So his Safeway purchases, my little McDonald's purchases of $2.12 every other week, my Target and my Starbucks reloading had given me 15,000 points. And I was like, oh my God, this thing is legit. And right then and there, I cashed it in for $15 worth of Starbucks gift cards. Because, I love Starbucks, and why not waste the money that I earned on something that I waste my money on anyway? And yeah, I got 3 Starbucks gift cards valued at $5 a piece and added it to my account just for spending money the same way that I normally would. So that's why I'm on here right now talking to you about Drop, because I feel like I need to shout this from the rooftops. Everybody needs to know about Drop. I mean, seriously, spending money to get money, like, that's literally unheard of. Although, you remember I did a review for the Get Upside app a couple of months ago, and they have expanded, so you guys need to look at that too, depending on your area. I know for sure they've expanded to the Houston area in Texas, if you're in Texas. That's the only one I know for sure, because I looked up recently for my mom to see if they were in Texas, and they have moved into the Houston area, but not so many other places. But yeah, go online and look at Get Upside, because like I gave you the review for that, you earn money for going to a specific gas station to get your gas, and you'll get cash back. And again, same thing. I talked to you guys about it because I saw that I was earning money, but I wasn't paying attention to it. Every time I would use it, I'd upload and wouldn't, really think much of it because you couldn't cash it out. That was the one thing I told you I did not like about the Get Upside app. You had to wait until it was at least at $15 to be able to cash it out without paying for cashing out. So I kind of just let it, gather up. And towards the end of the summer, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I have $30. And I was able to transfer that $30 right into my bank account and use it for something else. So you guys know I am a big fan of spending money to get money. And this is my new favorite thing, is the Drop app. Of course, it's one of those referral scheme type things. I love referral pyramid schemes as well. So basically, I refer you, you get a code, you refer your friends, and so on and so forth. And they basically blow up to be able to take over the world, that kind of thing. So basically, again, I told you all about this. With Drop, you're choosing your 5 favorite brands and you're spending your money. And of course, there's nothing that goes without being advertised to. You're always going to be advertised to, no matter what you use, where you are. Your phone right now is listening to you, listening to me talk about all this, and an advertisement is being generated just for you in some way, shape, or form in another app that you're going to be using later on today. That's the way the world works right now. It's sucky in one manner and awesome in another manner. I don't know how to feel, because it makes me happy sometimes when I like, oh, these shoes, I would love to have some Asics. And then I actually get an ad for on sale, like, I don't like you listening to me, but at the same time, thank you for letting me know that there were some running shoes on sale, which I just got some last week, and I'm just so excited to wear them. We had all the snow, so I haven't been able to wear them, but they're low light showed, which means that like if I want to walk outside at night, which I don't do, but if I do want to walk outside at night, my reflection will be like broadcast off of car lights. Like, isn't that so awesome? But I don't walk at night, so I don't really know why I need them. But I did need some new sneakers. I needed some black sneakers because I do have a pair of Asics that are like a magenta purplish color, and they're great, but they don't match everything. And while for the most part I'm not matchy 100% of the time, there's sometimes there's just like these magenta shoes do not go with anything that I have on. So I did need a pair of black sneakers, and I happened to see that the Asic light shows were on sale. They're normally $165. I live in Asics when it comes to sneakers. The more expensive, the better it feels on your feet. I know it sounds like a bunch of hooey, but legit, my husband has been wearing the gel Keanu. I have to say it like that because I want to say the gel Keanu, like Keanu Reeves, but it's Keanu. So I have to emphasize the Ayanu to make sure I say it right. But yeah, the gel Keanus are $165, $175 a pop. So we've actually been buying them on Amazon for the 2 years previous model. So they are a little bit less expensive. They're around $100, which is still really expensive for a sneaker. But these particular sneakers, like I said, are normally almost $200. So to get them at half off the price and you're still getting the same comfort, it's amazing. But yeah, the light show are just as expensive as the Keanus because it's good for, and I'm going off on a tangent here, they're good for overpronation, which is what I have, where your feet kind of bow inwards, you know, they tilt inward, and this kind of straightens them out. So all the knee pain and hip pain and stuff like that, ever since I've been using the Keanus, I haven't had as much sciatica pain in my back. I haven't had hip pain. They were the shoe that I lived in when I was pregnant because my feet were huge and sad and pathetic. And those were the only shoes that I put on that made my feet feel like they weren't in excruciating pain. So I have never gone back to a different sneaker other than these Keanus. And now I have the light show and lost all train of thought of what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the internet listening to you. So anyway, Drop uses an algorithm based on the 5 places that you normally shop to basically send you more ads for other places. So if you go onto the Drop app, even though you only can choose 5 specific stores that you can always earn points through, they also have other companies that will partner with them, and you can earn points if you shop through the app, through the link, to make this purchase. Now, of course, it is an internet purchase, so if you're weird about purchasing on the internet, it's not going to work for you. If you're like me and you buy 75% of all your products on the internet, you won't care either way. But during the holidays, just before Christmas, they had a promo for Fabletics. You were supposed to get 30,000 points from ordering from Fabletics through their link, through their app, and get 30,000 points. Now, I will say, I ordered maybe 2 or 3 days before Christmas. I spent about $70 at Fabletics, but I got 4 pairs of pants, guys. 4 pairs of pants and 2 bras. You know, when it comes to athleisure wear, especially the good stuff, you are spending $70 on maybe 1 pair of pants and maybe 1 bra. That's 1 outfit. That's it. That's as low as it's going to go. Fabletics is the cheapest that I've seen athleisure wear, even if you're getting it at Target. Target basically is on par with the same prices as Fabletics. Trust me on this. I've looked it up. The price difference is maybe $5, maybe $10 at the most, but I know Fabletics and I know their product and they stand behind their product, so that's why I always spend that extra money on the Fabletics. Plus the fact that Fabletics is always having some kind of weird sale. Like I said, I was able to get 4 pairs of pants and 2 bras for $70. Like, you really cannot beat that deal. But anyway, I am losing my train of thought all over the place in this podcast. Oh, same old Mackenzie. But yeah, so they of course know that I like Fabletics. I spent the money, and I still haven't gotten my 30,000 points, which I did email them about. And they sent me a nice email back saying that most of those offers, the big offers like that, especially the 30,000 point offers, it takes a little bit longer for the system to generate your points into your account than it would if you were just using your regular points that you have linked to your card. So I purchased that. I think it was like the 21st of December. The girl said it takes about 45 days or so for the points to go into my account, which it has not been 45 days. So I will let you know in the next couple of days whether or not I actually get the points or not for my purchase at Fabletics, because that'll tell me if the company is actually worth its weight in salt. Because again, yes, it's great that the 5 things that I always use, you're giving me points for. I am currently at 15,000 points again, which I am trying to hold out for something. I don't know what. I think I'm just going to turn it in for more Starbucks gift cards, but I literally just loaded my Starbucks account, so it doesn't make sense to do it right now. Although it probably does, just to go ahead and do it and get it over with. But yeah, if they give me my 30,000 points after the 45 days, that'll let me know whether or not the company is actually really worth it. Because like I said, you're going onto the app and you're seeing they have offers for like Foot Locker, Whole Foods and stuff like that. If you spin through this particular link, that you'll get these extra points, which, you know, I'm very curious to see if those links actually work. But like I said, it is also a referral program. So if I refer you, I get 5,000 points and you get 5,000 points just for starting out. Right off the bat, you'll get the 5,000 points that you can cash in for Starbucks, Aerie, AMC, Domino's, Sephora for $5, which is great. You know, I live at Sephora. I could easily use that $15 towards my eyebrow pencil. Thanks, guys, for clearing that up. I just thought about it. My eyebrow pencil is almost done. So I'm going to cash my 15,000 points in for $15 in Sephora gift cards so that I only have to pay $6 for my eyebrow pencil. Oh, it's great when everything falls in line for you. Anyway, I refer you, you link your card, we both get 5,000, and then you get your own code that you can refer to your friends to, and they get 5,000. So, of course, this is a point where I'm going to give you my referral code so you can refer yourself. My referral code is Y as in yellow, K as in king, G as in George, 3, A as in apple. And of course, I'll post this on my Instagram account as well, just in case you forget. But yeah, I refer you, you refer your friends, we all get 5,000 points, and the points just keep racking up. And you can do this for up to 10 friends, which I think is a little shady, right? You should be able to refer as many people as you want to. I think that's kind of crappy of them to limit it to 10. And I can only imagine once they start getting more and more popular that people are probably going to have a conniption about that 10, because it's like, seriously, if you want me to be able to tell everybody that I know, the 4 people listening to the show, everybody that I know, to start doing this app, you know, you shouldn't have a cap on how many people I actually tell about it and get points for. But, you know, their accountants probably said that there should be a cap so people aren't overcapitalizing, but I don't think that you can overcapitalize on people referring people. But, you know, that's just me. I'm not a business mogul. I obviously don't have an awesome app where people are joining. They're up to like 10 million people. I don't even know. I think I read they're up to like 1 million users or some such nonsense. I could be making that number up in my head. But yeah, you can only refer up to 10 people. But regardless, you're still earning at least 50,000 points for referring people, which is still kind of cool. I could still use that towards Starbucks gift cards because I love Starbucks. But yeah, it's called the Drop app, DROP, just like a drop in the hat. Download it today. You will not be sorry. And moving on to topic number 2. It's in my I'll try anything once category. I got the Brazilian blowout split and repair done on my hair at the end of the year. And this is going to be my review of it because I hate it. So anyway, I got my hair done the Saturday before New Year's. I waited way too long, but I went and got my hair done because you guys know I hate getting my hair done. I hate going into the salon. I hate spending endless hours there where people do stuff to my hair, and I feel like I could be doing so many other things, and instead I'm making useless conversation with people that I only see maybe 3 to 4 times a year, and then I end up walking out of that place feeling like I did not get what I wanted out of it. You know, every time I go to get my hair done, I tell you, I'm like, it's too flat. They got the Kardashian thing on lock, but that's not how I like my hair right now. I like my hair a little bit thicker than what they do. As a matter of fact, it's itching, and that's something I have to talk to you guys about with this stupid repair thing. But yeah, like they flattened my hair way too much, and I end up walking out and hating it until maybe 3 or 4 washes down the line, and then I'm like, okay, I'm okay with you again. You know, we're friends. But yeah, I was at the salon. I waited, I think this was one of the longest times that I've gone without getting my hair done. I chemically straighten my hair at the roots. You're supposed to do it every 6 to 8 weeks. I am not about that life because it's way expensive. So I think I went about 4.5 months between the last time that I got my hair done and this time. And while I'm sitting there, of course, I see this ad. Now, I've seen this ad at least on 2 different occasions while I've been there. But it rang true to me this time because I knew I was going to have to cut my ends this time. I kept putting her off for the last probably 2 appointments. I'm like, no, let's not cut my ends. Let's not cut my ends. Let's not cut my ends. I am trying to grow my hair out. You know, I've been on this journey for like the last 5 years. It's not been 5 years. It's probably been about 2 years that I've been trying to grow my hair out, and I'm trying to be nicer to my hair and use more natural products and not put as much heat and whatnot. But after I turned, I think 35, I bleached my hair. For all of you who did not know, I bleached my hair to do a blue color. And it did not turn out blue. I mean, it was blue for a hot second, and then it turned to green and all this other nonsense until I settled on a purplish, pinkish hue is what I've been rocking for the last couple of months. But as that's grown out, that hair has broken off slowly. And my hair was already in a weird, like, layered system. I don't know. It was like the way my hair grew. I kind of chopped off all my hair and then braided my hair up. But my hair grew in like a very Joan Jett-esque type of style. Like the back was really long and it just went layers and layers and layers up to the top of my head. It was very odd. But the beautician, the lady who does my hair now, she was like, I kind of like it. And I was like, I mean, I guess. So I kind of let her keep it. She kind of molded it a little bit so it would be a little bit more, I guess, even in a way that made sense instead of it literally just being layers upon layers going up my hair. But because of that, my hair has looked the same length for the last 2 years. So as my hair is breaking off, because again, for the people who are new to the show, my hair hates color. My hair hates when I do any kind of color. It always breaks off. And I'm trying to learn from that pattern, even though it's been a hard thing to do. I've been trying to not color it. I've been doing a lot of semi-permanent colors instead of permanent colors, which tend to damage your hair shaft. But regardless, all of the color that I did 2 years ago is slowly growing out, and now my hair, for the most part, is almost the same length, no matter where you are, at the top or at the bottom, which is why now it looks like it's the same length that it's been. But anyway, it's slowly growing out, but that color, it's damaged hair. It's, you know, I told you my hair has been breaking off slowly, so the hair is damaged, and I've been trying to avoid cutting the ends, even though I know the ends need to be cut. Everybody tells you when you have split ends, you need to cut them because all it's going to do is travel further up the shaft and you're going to end up having to cut more. But of course, vanity sets in and you're like, but I want to keep my length. And I did. So I hadn't had hair trimming in probably since the beginning of the summer. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I had my hair trimmed. So I'm looking at this poster, and the poster's like, split end repair, you know, so you don't have to get your hair trimmed. And I'm like, ooh, maybe if I do this, then I don't have to cut my hair, right? So I asked the girl, I'm like, okay, so how much is this treatment? She tells me $40. And I'm like, $40? That's a drop in the hat. I was spending $40 every time I was going there to get my hair colored, because I was doing semi-permanent colors with them, having them do it so I wouldn't have to worry about it. And I was spending $40 every time and wasting my money, because literally once I started doing spin on a regular, it would take maybe 2 weeks and that color was gone. So $40 down the drain in 2 weeks. So that's why I started doing the Punky Color shampoo at home, and then I didn't have to worry about it. But $40, I was like, okay, that's that's not bad. I can do $40. I've been working shift. I've been doing some extra stuff. I have extra cash flow coming in the house. Why not? So the girl is like, okay, we're going to do it. Fine. And one of the girls that was working on my hair is an Asian girl. I'm not sure of what Asian nationality she is, but she is Asian. She had said that she just done the treatment on her hair the week before. And she was like, yeah, I didn't want to have to cut my hair. So we were like, let's do this split end treatment and see what it does. So she was showing me her ends and I was like, ooh, I'm really not that impressed. That should tell you something. If someone shows you something, okay, and you're looking at it and you're like, ooh, that doesn't look as great as I would thought it would look, maybe you should probably reconsider what you're about to purchase or do or whatever. So I'm looking at her hair and I'm like, it kind of looks kind of dry. But I'm like, okay, also, this girl is not, I don't want to say she's not well kempt because that's just, that's a rude way to say. But every time I've seen her, her hair is not done. You know what I mean? It's not like the kind of hair that you're like, ooh, I covet that. So I was like, maybe it's just because she's like really low maintenance and it's not looking as good as it could based on the type of life choices she's making with her hair. I don't know. Like, but that's one of my things. Like, I hate going to a beautician and a salon or whatever, and you see the person who's supposed to do your hair and their hair is busted and you're like, I'm supposed to put my hair in the hands of that person. Like, I feel like you should look like $5 million when you're a hairstylist. I don't care how much hair you do, your hair needs to look on point if you're doing somebody else's hair. Nail salon people, I give them a pass, okay? Because they're working on people's nails all day long and putting colors on, and sometimes you make a mistake and you have to rub it off with your nails. So nail salon people, I give them a pass on that. Yeah, your nails aren't going to look great. But hair people, I'm like, girl, like, your color looks busted, your hair looks busted, your ends look busted. I'm not sure if I should let you do my hair. But anyway, like I said, but she's an assistant. She usually is the person that puts the chemical on my hair or washes my hair out. So I thought, okay, again, maybe she just isn't one of those people who, like, you know, spends money on expensive products. She has 2 kids, you know, it's a hard knock life. And she's an assistant at a salon. She can't be making like buku dollars to be buying expensive hair products. So maybe that's the case and I'm still going to do this. So they set me up, they do the chemical on my hair, they wash me out, they even comped me a deep conditioner, which was very nice of them. But then I sat down at the chair and there's another girl that I've never seen at the salon before. I'm guessing she's new. She goes to do the processing of the actual Brazilian blowout. Now, one thing I want to make note of, I've had a Brazilian blowout one other time in my life about 7 or 8 years ago, and it broke my hair off. I should have known then that maybe I shouldn't trust this company. But in my defense, I thought I was looking at Brazilian Bond Builder, which is a very good company. Brazilian Bond Builder has shampoos and conditioners and stuff like that. People swear by these products, saying that their hair is like 10 times stronger and healthier after they've done a color treatment on their hair. So I, for real, thought that I was getting a Brazilian Bond Builder treatment and not a Brazilian blowout treatment. It wasn't until I was doing research for the podcast last week that I saw that it was a Brazilian blowout, and I was like, I should have known right then and there I was going to hate this. Spoiler alert, I hate this treatment. But anyway, so I sit down at this girl's chair and she starts to put the product on. Now, the girl who showed me her bad split ends before I even started the process told me, she's like, yeah, when they put the product on your hair, they don't wash it out. They just put it on and then they blow dry it and it sets in your hair. Now, if you go onto the Brazilian Blowout webpage, it also says the same thing. The step-by-step is basically 1, preparing the hair. You begin by shampooing, thoroughly rinsing, and styling damp hair. Do not use anti-rinse shampoo. Part 2 is the application. With hair slightly damp, apply split end repairing solution with an applicator brush on the bottom 2 to 3 inches of hair or where you see damage. Comb product through the ends, ensuring even distribution. 3, you blow dry the hair as smooth as possible using a round bore bristle brush with a wood core, which I'm pretty sure that girl did not use. You use medium heat. You keep the blow dryer at least 2 inches away from hair to avoid product burn off, and it is not recommended to use a metal or ceramic brush. And then step 4 is flat ironing the hair, which seals in the product. We recommend using the Brazilian Blowout Pro Digital Flat Iron. Of course you do. And then you flat iron 2 to 3 inch size sections where the solution was applied. Use a temperature of about 380 to fuse the product into hair. Using a comb flat iron method, pass over each section 2 to 3 times with a smooth, controlled pass using light tension and gliding through the ends. So I just explained to you the step-by-step process. You put the stuff on the hair when you see damage, you blow dry the hair, you flat iron the hair, and that's basically it. So I sit down at the chair. The girl gets the product. Now she starts in the back of my hair. And I feel her doing the ends, but I kind of also feel her doing up the shaft of my hair. So she's doing the ends up the shaft, doing the ends up the shaft. This is basically to the middle portion of the back of my hair. And this is when the owner's daughter comes by and tells her, hey, no. You only put it on the ends. You don't put it up the hair, just on the ends where it's split. And so she's like, oh, okay. So at this point, she's putting it only on the ends of my hair. Cool. Whatever. I wish I hadn't heard that you were putting it in the wrong spots. But as she comes up to the front, you know, of course, I still kind of have layers, but my layers aren't that short unless you get to where my temples are, which is where my baby hairs are. And she was applying the product right where my baby's hairs were. Now, this wasn't something that I paid attention to until the itching started, and again, I'm going to get to it, but I didn't realize that she had done it until I was trying to figure out why the front of my scalp was so itchy. So anyway, getting back to it, she starts putting the product on the front of my hair, whatever, and I'm like, okay, maybe those baby hairs will lay flatter than they've ever laid before. That makes me really excited. So she comes through with the brush and the blow dryer. Now her blow dryer, I saw her blow drying somebody else's hair. That ish was making all kinds of smoke signals. Like, I don't know if we were calling people aliens, whatever. But she was like blow drying the ish out of this girl's hair. And she did the same thing to mine. This said medium heat. I don't think she was using medium heat, but okay, whatever. Then she gives me back to my beautician, the main person who does my hair. And the minute we sit down, we're like feeling it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this feels really, really good. But we're still going to have to cut your hair. And I'm like, right then and there, I was so angry. Because I don't like when people sell me a product, okay? If I ask you about a product, I want you to give me everything that I need to know about the product, okay? I ask you, oh, how much is the split and repair thing? Oh, okay, it's $40. Is this something you think you want to do? Yeah, I think I want to do it. Your job as a hair professional should be to look at my ends and say, let's see if this would actually work or if you're still probably going to need a trim. They should have known just looking at my hair like, okay, I know you want to do this, but we're probably still going to need to trim your hair, which is another $35 frickin' dollars. So now where I was like, okay, I'll spend an extra $40 so I don't have to get my hair trimmed. Now that $40 is now turned into $75 because I still need a trim on top of the stupid treatment, which the main reason why I was doing the treatment was so I didn't have to cut my hair. So I was already upset, but I'm like, okay, woosah out. That's not the kind of energy we're bringing into 2019. We're just going to be like, okay, not a big deal. So she goes through, she does the flat ironing, and I'm going to tell you, for real, honest, and truly, my hair did look great. It looked like amazing, and it felt so super duper smooth. It felt, oh my God, I've never had my hair feel as soft as it did right after she flat ironed my hair and I was about to leave the salon. It was gorgeous. But the fact that I still had to cut my split ends at the end was one of those things that kind of like dampened the shine that I was feeling over how great my hair looked. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, it made me feel like poop, because it's like, okay, I spent $40 to spend another $35, which I could have said, will this actually work on my hair? We're still gonna need to cut it. Okay, let's cut it, and then next time, if I feel like my ends still look kind of crappy, then we'll do the split and repair and go from there. So there was that, and then I go to pay. And she's like, okay, so $40 for the split end repair. Then we have $30 for the hair trimming. Oh, and they had to open up an extra container for the relaxing product they put on your hair. And I'm like, I have never. My hair is the same length that it's been all this time. Okay, one. Two, you only have to put the straightening product on the new growth of my hair. My new growth, even though, yeah, I went 4.5 months, there's not enough new growth in the world that I would have to use 2 containers. So they were like, oh, we gave you half off of the opening of that. The container itself is $100. It's $100 to have this applicated to my hair, and now here's an extra 50. And then I got to give the girls a tip. The 3 different people worked on my hair, and I have to give them a tip. And all in all, I ended up spending $300 on my hair. $300, guys. I was not happy. No. All the shine and softness that I felt in my hair, it was gone. It was gone. I might as well have walked out of there looking like a freaking Pomeranian, and I would have felt a little bit better than looking how I looked and spending how much I mean, I guess that's what people do. But no, I was still mad. I'm mad. I was mad. I was angry. Okay. And I'm like, okay, this is what you get. Sometimes you just need to stay in your lane and stop trying to do outside products. I find sometimes I try to do new things and end up wasting my money. And now I know for the future, we won't do this again. So I get home, and a day or two later, the itching starts. And I'm scratching in my hair right now. And like I said, I was like, oh, maybe it's because of the extra FM product that you guys put in my hair. Maybe that's the reason why my scalp is itching. And then, of course, I had the epiphany that, no, the girl put the Brazilian crap in the front of my hair, and that's why my hair is itching. It's a sealant. It seals the shaft of the hair that's been split to make it fuse into one. So you got to kind of figure putting something like that on directly on your scalp is not going to be a healthy addition. It's going to be a drying addition, and that's what it's done. I've had so much dandruff. I combated dandruff years ago. Do you know how embarrassing it is to have dandruff that isn't even like real dandruff? It's literally because somebody put a product on your hair that they shouldn't have put in a spot that they put it. That's what I'm walking around with. I'm scratching my hair and I'm seeing flakes come down off of my head, and I'm like, what in the holy crap is going on? Oh yeah, the girl didn't know what the F she was doing with my hair. And now I'm dealing with dandruff all over again. I had dandruff as a young adult because I think, one, my head is always itchy. I have the driest scalp in the history of scalps. It's like the Sahara, like for real. I don't care how many different oils, products, whatever that I put on my hair. My scalp is just very dry. My mom has even told me when I was a baby, not infant, but like toddler baby, I just wanted people to scratch my scalp. Like that was my thing. If you scratch my scalp, I would sit there in a trance and not move. And that is true even today. If you put your fingers into my hair and start like scratching, it's over. I'm done. I'm just going to sit there and just let you murder me, basically, because, I'm just put in a trance. So I always had a dry scalp. The products that you use can either facilitate in helping your scalp not be as itchy, or it could just kind of cleanse, but not cleanse as, your scalp actually needs it. And of course, we're so woke when it comes to different products and stuff like that. We know that we shouldn't have silicones and parabens and dimethicones and all these other things in your hair, because it does essentially do no good for your hair in the end, and it's actually causing problems to your hair that you didn't think that you were supposed to have. And one of them, I think for me, was dandruff. And I remember, I'm going to tell you a side story. I remember once going to a market. I don't know, I can't remember if it was a gas station, because I've never really been a junk food eater. I eat the occasional Cheetos and Doritos and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that I was just stopping to get gas and I had to go inside. And there was a nice little Asian lady behind the counter who made it a point when I was checking out to tell me like, ooh, honey, dandruff is really bad. You might want to try. And I don't even know what else she told me. I kind of glazed over because of the fact that this lady was pointing out the fact that my dandruff was so bad that she felt the need to tell me what products I needed to put on my scalp because my dandruff was so bad. Anybody who has an Asian mom, aunt, whatever, like the older Asian women feel like they could just tell you anything and they think it's for your benefit. And it is essentially for your benefit. But if there was a more tactful way of doing it, as in not to tell a perfect stranger who is paying for things at your dispensary that they have very flaky, dry scalp and what they should do to remedy it would probably go a long way. But anybody who has an Asian mom, Nichelle, please back me up on this. Asian moms are ruthless. They tell it like it is, and it's for your benefit. It really is. It just makes you feel like poo-poo while it's being told to you. Black moms do it too. It's just like, there's no filter. It's like, ooh, you got a little belly there, don't you? You've been eating on some extra food, and you're like, thanks, Mom. I didn't have an issue thinking about my belly, but now I do. I appreciate it. But anyway, so yeah, that was my side story. And yeah, that really sent me into like a downward spiral. I was like totally freaked out that this random stranger told me that I had really bad dandruff, enough for her to actually tell me what products to use. And oh my God, and I'm pretty sure I was going to see a boy right after that. So that didn't make me self-conscious at all. No, it didn't. But anyway, I combated the whole dandruff thing years ago, over a decade ago. I haven't had dandruff in years. And this product and how the girl applied it has had me scratching in my scalp. Like, I literally think I'm going to tear my hair out because I've been scratching so hard. 2 weeks ago, I woke up in the morning and I was like, ooh, you have some, like, that's when I first started to get the dandruff, about 2 weeks ago. I was like, ooh, you have some crust in your hair, like dandruff. And I went to move it. No, I had scratched my scalp so hard, it had made a wound. And the wound had turned into like pus. Oh, God. Oh, my God. So all in all, to wrap up this review, I hate the Brazilian blowout split and repair. I will never do it again, ever, ever, ever again. And just to make myself feel better, I looked online to see if anybody else had done any reviews. And there was a Glamour writer. She works for Glamour. The article was published in 2014, and she did it because she was like, I've had keratin treatments and stuff like that, but I was trying to try something different because I didn't want to cut my split ends. I was trying to grow out my lob, and I wanted to see what it was all about. And she said, all in all, after the treatment, she still ended up going home and cutting her ends. I guess her stylist was like trying to save face and like, oh no, we don't need to cut your hair, baby. It looks great. And she still went home and cut the hair herself. So she ended up having the same review as I'm having, aside from the itchy scalp that she feels like she has to tear off, because obviously her person knew what they were doing when they were applying the product to her hair. So she had the exact same thing. And I will say, initially after washing my hair as well, I felt like my ends looked way worse. Again, I'm trying to do less maintenance on my hair. I may blow dry it. I may not. I may flat iron it. I may not. More times than not, because it's wintertime, I am at least blow drying my hair. But unless I have someplace where I'm being seen on a regular, I don't flat iron my hair. And there was one day that I don't think I was going anywhere following me washing my hair. So I just like said, okay, I'm just going to put some product in it and let it air dry. And my ends look like trash. Like trash. And I'm like, I put a lot of product on the end of my hair. They shouldn't look like that, especially with this $40 treatment that I put in my hair. And then the next time I washed my hair, I blow dried it. Still look like trash. And I'm still not convinced that my ends don't look like trash. Like right now, they look decent. And that's because I put a crap ton of product at the end, which I don't like to do because it ends up weighing down your hair. So it's like, yeah, my ends don't look like crap, but my hair as a whole kind of looks lifeless and limp because I've had to add extra product to overcompensate for the fact that my ends look like crap. So I haven't tried flat ironing it, and that's one thing that I did say that I was supposed to do this week when I washed my hair, in effort to actually give you guys a solid 100% review. But of course I've been sick, so I've been trying to do things in the most bare minimum fashion, so I haven't gotten to flat iron my hair to see if maybe putting extra heat, which I don't like to do. I don't feel like putting extra heat should make my hair product work better than if I don't. Because the whole point is to not put heat on your hair so that you don't have more split ends. But all in all, I'm going to give this Brazilian blowout split and repair a big fat thumbs down. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs down because I did not like the way my hair looked afterwards. Like, okay, I liked how my hair looked afterwards when I was leaving the salon. I will say that. But the following wash after my hair was done, my hair did not look good. It did not look good when it was air dried. It does not look good when it's blow dried. And those are the main things that I do to try to keep my hair, as healthy as possible, despite the fact that I've bleached it on numerous occasions and it still didn't work. So yeah, Brazilian blowout split and repair, you get a big fat X. I will never do you again. And to round out the show, we're going to do a have you heard that Ariana Grande got a tattoo in another language and it ended up saying something completely different than what she thought it was going to say? Talk about tattoos gone wrong. I swear, people, tattoos have been one of those things that now, like, anybody gets them. 10-year-olds get tattoos now and it's no big thing. Years ago, when I first tried to get my tattoo, I was 15. I'm so glad that the person was like, you're way too young to get a tattoo, even though your mom's here signing off on it. I'm so glad that I didn't, because if I did, I would have a yin and a yang on my shoulder right now that I don't think would be very cute or stylish at my age at all. But the other tattoos that I have, I still think are pretty cute. I have a barcode on my lower back, which my son was like, what's that, the other day? And I said, it's a barcode. And he was like, no, what's that? And I said, so when you go to a grocery store and you scan the product and it beeps? And he said, yeah. I said, that's what that is. It's a barcode. And I don't think he was impressed at all. He just walked away. But yeah, I have a barcode on my lower back. I have a cover-up on my wrist, on my left wrist. It's a rosebud, which really doesn't have a significant meaning other than the fact that I've made it a point to say it's a rosebud and my nickname is Bud, as you know, with certain family members. But it was a cover up of a guy that I was seeing many, many moons ago. He passed away and I put the day that he passed away on my wrist. It was very impulsive, very, very impulsive. Like I did it within a week of him passing away. And obviously it was like things that I wasn't working through and I thought that would make me feel better. And in the end, I won't say that it didn't make me feel better, but I think I was trying to prove a point to myself and the people around me about our relationship, which, again, this is why young people shouldn't do things on a whim because it ends up being ridiculous. But years later, I ended up getting it covered up because it just felt weird being married, because by the point that I got it covered up, I was married, and people would ask me like, oh, Chad, and 12905, like, is that your boyfriend when you guys start dating? And it's like, no, I'm actually married to somebody else, and his name is not Chad. And it just became one of those things that I hated explaining. When you have tattoos, you have to be ready and prepared for people to ask you the meaning of it. And it's funny because I just saw a meme the other day that said that very thing, where it's like, oh, do your tattoos have meaning? And it's like, at this point, my life doesn't even have meaning. And that made me kind of chuckle because, that is the life of a person who has tattoos, especially if you don't have like a full-on sleeve where all the tattoos are kind of blending in together. Mine are kind of spread out. I have the one on my wrist. I have a butterfly on the side of my abdomen. I have stars floating up towards my belly button, which the midwives when I was pregnant would always comment and say, it's like, you have stars flying out of your vagina. Which, I hate that word. And I hate the fact that she would always say that it looked like I had stars flying out of my vagina. But I call it a uni. So during my entire pregnancy, it looked like I had stars flying out of my uni. But yeah, like when you have tattoos that are in places where it's very visible, and on the inside of my wrist, right by where my hand is a very visible place, especially when I worked at the doctor's office and I would have to show people forms and I have to and I'm doing like the motion, like you guys can see me, but I'm motioning, oh, here are the forms. This is where you need to sign. My wrist is very visible. So I got tired of people asking me, and again, it was losing the meaning, and I realized that I had jumped the gun, and I was trying to prove something to myself and whatever, and I got it covered up, and so I have a nice little rosebud covering Chad's name, and, I always felt bad because for the longest time, the area itched for so long. Very, very like itchy spot. And I always would think like, now follow me here, that maybe he was talking to me. Like, it itching was him, like, I don't know, his presence there. And once I got it covered up, it itched for maybe a couple of months afterwards, and it hasn't itched since. So that's really weird. Like, that's one of those, like, freaky, creepy things that you don't think about until you think about it, and it's like, yeah, it hasn't itched in a long time. I don't know. But anyway, getting back to the story, because of course I went completely on the left. January 29th, Ariana uploaded onto her Instagram a picture of her hand, which her hand looks like a mannequin's hand. It's really creepy. That's something I just wanted to point out to you. But anyway, so she has her hand, and it has a tattoo of what is supposed to be 7 Rings, which is her new single that she dropped about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, which has gotten so much flack. It's gotten so much flack because, one, they're saying it sounds like Pretty Boy Swag.
This right here is my swag.
Which it kind of does. I'm not going to hate. It does kind of sound like Pretty Boy Swag. And you know what? I hate when artists try to point out like, oh, this song sounds like this song sounds like this, and it's like, I feel like a lot of times, unless you're really like straight out just stealing something, like Vanilla Ice, where he's like, oh no, Under Pressure is dun 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 dun, and my song Ice Ice Baby is dun 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 dun. It's completely different. No, dude, you stole the song. It's the same thing, whatever. But I feel like when it's an instance like this where it's like, it does kind of sound like Pretty Boy Swag, but only if somebody really kind of points it out to you. You're kind of like, oh, this sounds familiar, but I don't know where. And then it's like, oh, okay, it kind of does sound like Pretty Boy Swag. I feel like people get a little bit too, I don't know, in their feelings about certain things like that. I feel like imitation is the highest form of flattery. You know what I mean? Like, if I see somebody and they see me in my new Asics light show, okay, and they're like, oh my God, those are bomb AF. How do I get a pair of those? And they go out and get a pair, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you just copied me and like I'm the only person who can have it. There's nothing that's original in this world anymore. There really isn't. I mean, yeah, there's people who come up with original ideas, but nothing is 100% original. I feel like, I could be just talking out of my arse about this, but I do feel like, what you think hasn't been done has probably been done by somebody before, and you just never heard about it, and you think you're the only person who's done it. But yeah, so they try to call her out for it sound like Pretty Boy Swag. And then part 2 of that is there's another rapper, I think she's a rapper, and there's a part in the song where she talks about having fake hair and you liking it, and she just bought it. Okay. Like, that's never been said before, but there's a girl who, I don't even know what her name is, Nubian something. I think I made that up. I may not have made that up, but I remember it being like something ridiculous where she is as high yellow as can be. Like, if you didn't tell me that she was supposed to be black, I would have never thought she was black, which, of course, I've talked about colorization in the black community, in the Asian community, people who are brown in general. We have different variations of color, and I know it's one of those things that colorism, they just did an episode on Blackish about colorism and black families and people of color. It just happens. And, I don't want to call her out for not being black, but at the same time, looking at her, I would not say that she was black. But she tried to make it a point to say that Ariana was doing cultural appropriation. And again, I have a very, I don't know, I feel really weird about cultural appropriation because, again, imitation is the highest form of flattery. But 2, there's got to be a point where you say, okay, somebody is imitating me. Somebody is imitating something that is normally only done in my culture. But if you're not making a mockery of it, if you're not doing it to get laughs and giggles, if you're doing it because you actually like it and it's something that you feel compelled to use as a way to express yourself, I don't think that's cultural appropriation. I think we're using that phrase a little too freely to a point where now it's going to be one of those things that if you aren't Asian, you can't have an Asian tattoo. If you aren't Japanese, you can't use chopsticks. It's going to be one of those things because it's like, oh, well, you're appropriating my culture by being at a ramen place and eating ramen with chopsticks instead of a fork. And it's like, or I'm appreciative of the culture and I like the way that you guys are eating your ramen. Thus, I learned how to use chopsticks so that I could do your culture proper justice by doing it like that. So I have a really weird thing about the whole cultural appropriation, and people were like calling her out for the cultural appropriation of like, oh, she bought her hair. So basically she's trying to take something away from black women. Black women have been talking about having weaves and it being their thing. And it's like, yeah, black women have been talking about, hey, your hair looks beautiful. Yeah, great. Thanks. I just bought this, or this being mine, or somebody asking you like, oh, is this your hair? Yeah, it's my hair. I paid for it. Like, that's not something that's brand new. And I don't think this Nubian, whoever she is, again, I don't know if that's her name, but she looks all of 10 years old. She looks like she's in her early 20s. Girlfriend, people were talking about buying hair and it being theirs because they bought it years before you were probably even conceived. So don't act like you're the only person who has a copyright on that, because you don't. All right, calm down, friend. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, I think it's a little funky that they're kind of like saying like, oh, she's doing a cultural appropriation by saying she bought her hair. That's something that's significant with only black women. It's not. Everybody has jumped on the buying weave, making your hair look thicker, making your hair a different color and stuff like that. Everybody's been on that bandwagon for a hot minute now. I just saw a clip maybe a month or so ago with one of those, you guys know I can never get these shows right, but it's one of those female-centric shows where everybody on the panel is a female, and one of the ladies is an Asian woman, and the whole clip starts off with her saying, yellow girls are jumping in on the weaves bandwagon, just like anybody else, and she pulls a clip from of the hair that she has on her hair, showing that, yeah, everybody is trying to make their hair thicker or fuller or be something that it's just not on its own. And there was another co-host, I want to say it was Jenny McCarthy. I really want to say it was Jenny McCarthy. She pulls out one of her clips like, hey, yeah, I'm doing it too. So it shows you that everybody is up on the fake hair, the weave, the extensions track, that yes, black women, we made it our thing back in the 80s and 90s, but it's no longer just us doing it. Everybody's doing it. So that was my little tangent about cultural appropriation. I just had to go off on that for a minute. But anyway, so getting back to it, I think the main point of me talking about that song was that I really like it. I do like that song a lot. I just like da 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 da. I really I was talking about the Brazilian blowout thing, and I'm wondering if I should just braid my hair just to give my hair like a break from me doing all kinds of stupid crap to it, because I find when I do braid my hair up, which I do every couple of years to kind of reset my hair does so many great things. My hair grows, it gets fuller, it looks great, and then of course I take them out and then I start doing crap to it again. But I was kind of thinking when I go to Texas, maybe I should braid my hair up, and then I could totally say, you like my hair? Gee, thanks, I just bought it. Like that, I just want to do that so badly. But anyway, so yeah, that was the whole thing. I really like the song. And so yeah, on the 29th, getting back to it, my God, I gotta actually stay focused, and I'm really going over in time here. So on January 29th, she uploaded a picture to the internet of her little plastic hand, and on the hand, it shows what is supposed to be 7 rings to commemorate, the success of the song, I guess. I don't know. I think she was also trying to prove to haters. Everybody was talking trash about the song, like, you stole it from Soulja Boy. Oh, you stole it from this person. Oh, well, cultural appropriation. You are pretending to be Japanese in the music video, which, oh my God, whatever. Calm down. But anyway, I think she was trying to prove something by getting it tattooed on her hand, like that she's owning this song and she's not gonna denounce it. She wrote it, she loves it, and she's all about it. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna get a tattoo about it. The only thing is, what she did was she took 2 symbols that by themselves, one says the number 7, in with a symbol in the kanji language that's supposed to mean either hoop, wheel, or ring, which you would think you put the 2 together, would make 7 rings, but just like most languages that aren't English, you put 2 separate words together, they don't necessarily mean the same thing in a language. And what was supposed to be 7 rings ended up meaning small Japanese style barbecue grill. Which I think is so hilarious. It's so bad, but it's so hilarious that you would literally get a tattoo that says Japanese style barbecue grill. Like, if that isn't the hottest tattoo ever, I don't know what is. But she tried to delete it, and of course, everybody knows anything you put on the internet is forever. Someone screenshotted it, and Twitter went gasp with the fact that she did not have somebody check her references. And what I think is even more funny about the whole thing is the fact that in the 7 Rings video, the first thing, and I just watched the video literally before I started recording this podcast, the first thing that comes up, it says 7 Rings, and it has it explicitly written out in the kanji language the way that it's supposed to read. How? Who? Why didn't someone say, hey, that's not the same thing that's in the video? Isn't that different than what the video had? Because if she had looked at the video, none of this would even be an issue. Nobody would be talking about it because exactly how it is written in the video, the first 30 seconds of the video is how it should be written out. So she tried to take it down. Of course, everybody's like trying to blow her up and make her feel like trash. Because that's what we do. We have to make people feel like crap so that we can feel better about ourselves. Because that's what happens, right? You do feel better about yourself when you make somebody else feel like crap. So yeah, everybody went ham on her and started making all these references. My favorite one comes from a guy named Alex B. Smith Sports. I don't know who this dude is, but he makes a joke in reference to the song and says, I see it, I want it, I grill it, I eat it.
I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it, yeah.
I died reading that tweet. I cannot get enough of this tweet. I am going to, as a matter of fact, share this on my private Instagram stories because I can't get enough of how hilarious this is, and I hope other people get it too. But it's like, oh my God, I read it exactly how it was supposed to be read, and it's pure internet gold, the way people were going in on Ariana Grande. So today, of course, an article comes out talking about how she's corrected it. She tried to make fun of herself after she deleted it, of course, and said, I'm going to miss this small barbecue grill. It was actually really cute. I'm just going to get another cover up and get it corrected. Turns out the correction is still wrong. And now the tattoo reads, Japanese barbecue finger. Whap, whap. I'm sorry, Ariana. Like, we should just go ahead and just get you a whole new ham because it looks plastic anyway and just call it a day. We're not going to get this right. No one's going to let you live it down. And for the rest of your life, your little plastic hand's going to have Japanese style barbecue finger on it. Let that be a lesson to you kids. When you're going to get a tattoo in a different language, spell check, fact check, autocorrect. There's a thing called Google. You can put stuff in and it'll tell you exactly what it's supposed to be. Do not let your friends talk you into getting stuff that you know damn well is not right. 2, cut out the friends of your life that didn't say, you know what, that doesn't look like the one in the video. The video looked a little bit different. Maybe we should look it up before you get your stuff tattooed on your hands. I'm just saying. And that is it, guys. That is today's show. I just want you to know that whole thing that just happened, me ending the have you heard and saying that's the end, there was no clip in between that. I literally went from one thing to another because that's how erratic I am right now. I'm losing my mind. I'm supposed to be doing a shop right now. Remember I told you I had one shop to do with a delivery time of 4 to 5, and I should have been starting the shop as about right now. I am so behind. But whatever, we're going to get this done. We're going to get it shipped and delivered the way that it's supposed to because I'm good at my job and I know what I'm doing. But anyway, that is it. That is today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the 400 stories inside each story that I actually told today. I was in true and rare form. I don't know where that was all coming from, but I think it's just all that pent up non-podcasting that I haven't been doing over the last couple of weeks that just needed to come out, and that's why I just had to share everything with you. You know my style when it comes to telling stories. It's so ADHD. I can't keep it all together, and that's just me. And now my nose is starting to clog up. Oh my God. Anyway, so that just tells me I need to really end it. Join me next time. I will be talking about, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. Hopefully nothing catastrophic happens that I can't actually do a podcast. So let's just cross our fingers that, everything goes as planned. We've been having really ishy weather out here. We've had snow, we've had rain, sleet. It's been all over the place. The wind chill is like negative 450. It's like Mars outside right now. And anything can happen. So hopefully I'll be here next week. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Follow me on social media. I am Mommy's Media Medium on Instagram. I am on Twitter as Cool Chica? Miss Mackenzie. I'm on Twitter as Miss Mackenzie. I've actually been tweeting. Not a lot, but I've been tweeting more than I have, I think, in the last year. Because it's a new year. But yeah, I have been trying to tweet very often, and it's going okay. I don't know. I'm still a little shaky about the whole Twitter thing. But yeah, other than that, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
My mommy done talking now. Let's just yes, bye.